All right, Bucn over episode 18. Daily overs are at 6, 9, and 2. Our season win total sits at 8 out of 65. We've got game 2, Pirates Brewers, over under at 7.5. I'm already sick of seeing Milwaukee. I really am. Colton Wong aside, and we'll get to him. He had a nice little play. I know it's been 2 series, but the Milwaukee Brewers, I need them to get out of my life now. Pirates did fix the first inning problem they've been having. Unfortunately, Ashby also fixed the first inning problem, the second, the third, all the way into the 6th. And is someone in the Pirates listening to my podcast? Someone in the front office? Are they listening? Because I saw some lineup moves. All of this and more coming up on this episode of The Bucn Over. If you're someone on the Pirates front office listening to this podcast, first of all, thank you. Second of all, you're taking what I say into account. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All kidding aside, Yoshi out of the cleanup spot into the 6 hole. Vogelback out of the leadoff spot into the 4 hole. This looked like a lineup on paper that makes the most sense. Diego Castillo leading off. Reynolds, Hayes, Vogelback, Yoshi is like 6. So this lineup on paper looked really well. Of course, that's on paper. We got into the game. The Pirates didn't get their first hit till the 6th inning. So, sometimes things look weird. And you go, why is that guy batting there? Why is it? Sometimes we don't know. We don't know the mindset of the players, the mindset of Derek Shelton, the manager. Sometimes he's obviously more in tune with the players than the fans are. But when you give us a lineup that makes this much sense on paper and no hits until the 6th inning, who knows? Maybe they know what they're doing. Maybe Yoshi batting 4th, leaving players all over the field makes sense. Putting Vogelback at leadoff, who knows? Anyways, let's get into the recap. The Pirates, they fixed the first inning problem. They started Dylan Peters, and he was just fine. First inning, second inning, no problems. First batter in the 3rd, he walked, and they pulled him for Bryce Wilson, the original starter for today. Bryce Wilson came in, and I don't know if it's because he had more time to warm up or if he didn't have to come in the first inning, but 4 Ks over 4 innings pitched, no earned runs, and 1 hit. So we got to the 6th inning, no runs, 1 hit, looking good. I mean, that's what you want. Is it a little flip-flop? You don't have Bryce Wilson starting. You have Peters. Yeah, but results. That's what you want to see. In the bottom of the 6th, Diego Castillo walks. Reynolds gets a hit, and that breaks up the no-no. And then Hayes grounds into a double play, and stupid Colton Wong made a nice play, dove for the ball, flipped the ball out of his glove to the shortstop covering, double play, but that did score Diego Castillo, and it's 1-0. So I'm watching the game. I already know the Bucn over's dead, unless some miracle happens, because it's just one of those nights. But Pirates can win 1-0. And in the way the bullpen's been pitching, you don't bring in Fletcher, you don't bring in Hembry, could be all right. They bring in Will Crow. And Will Crow pitching, Yoshi commits an error at first on a play, maybe 98% of MLB first basemen make. He's just having a rough week, that Yoshi. I mean, at the bat, in the field, it's just... He's becoming, on Twitter, he's becoming Cole Tucker status, is what he's becoming. It's unfortunate to see, but, he's starting to become excommunicated, exiled, whatever you want to say. But he needs to turn something around, and fast. Hopefully, maybe if they put him in a DH couple games, give him a break. I don't know. So the fielding error scores Yelich. Rowdy Tellez I don't say he hit the ball, but he didn't get credited with the hit. Later in the top of the seventh, Tyrone Taylor singled on a line drive, and that scored Hunter Renfroe. So it's 2-1. So just like that, struggle, both teams. And bottom of the sixth, top of the seventh, it's 2-1. Later in the game, Sam Howard on the mound. He walks with the bases loaded. He walks, who else? Colton Wong. Love it. I love to see it. Just Colton Wong everywhere. He's everywhere. That scores Rowdy Tellez to make it 3-1. In the bottom of the ninth, again, you have Hader on the bump. He walks 2 batters. And then you have Vogelback, Yoshi, and Roberto Perez, all with a chance to just get a hit. Get a hit, keep the line moving. You score a couple runs, get it to extras. You run into one. You take the lead, win the game. Strikeout. Now, Hader is a very good pitcher and hard to hit. And if you get down 0-2 like Perez was, I mean, you're dead. But when you see people walk into Hader, you get a little more patient, and they were. It's just, it's Milwaukee. And we're all sick of seeing Milwaukee. The good news is after tomorrow, we don't see Milwaukee again till June 30th. The bad news is we get 2 series in July, 2 series in August of lots of Milwaukee. But after tomorrow, we don't have to worry about them for a good solid 2 months. And I'm looking forward to that. So, the Pirates, 8-10. The daily overs are now at 6, 10, and 2. Looking around the league, last episode I mentioned Arizona, who beat the Dodgers, or was winning against the Dodgers. They ended up beating the Dodgers last night, so took the money line today, and it cashed. This bad teams back-to-back thing, there might be something there. The only problem is you have to determine what a bad team is. Like you have the White Sox 7-10 against the Royals 6-10. Are either of those guys worse than the other? I don't know. I consider the White Sox a decent team. So, I mean, who knows? For that bet, though, we are looking at the Athletics and the Cubs. The Athletics currently, at the time of this recording, 1-0, middle of the fifth, against the Giants, 13-5. So, out of the Athletics, I don't know if they're necessarily a good or a bad team, but they're 9-9. The Cubs, 7-10, against the Braves, 8-10. Oh, 6-3 in the top of the 10th. So they just hit 3 runs in the 10th inning. How about that? How'd that happen? Let's do a little live. Oh, Patrick Wisdom homers on a fly ball to center field. Look at that. 6-3. So if you consider the Cubs a bad team and the Braves defending World Series a good team, tomorrow you should be looking at the Cubs money line. Now, the Athletics don't play tomorrow. They play today, and then they have a day off, and then they go to a different team. They play the Guardians at home. So, the Guardians 7-10, Athletics 9-9. I don't know if that's the Athletics. I wouldn't bet a lot on that one, but it's a good way to see, if day off, if it bridges between games or between teams, between days off. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But the Cubs, definitely look at the Cubs. Athletics, maybe peek at it, see what the line is. And if it's plus money, maybe sprinkle a little bit on there. But for the Pirates, we got Game 3 tomorrow. A nice afternoon game, 12:35. Over-under at 7.5 as it sits now. You got Johnny Peralta, 0-1, 16 strikeouts over 12 innings pitched. Jose Quintana, 0-1, 8 strikeouts over 14 innings pitched. For me, I would say Jose Quintana has been the most consistent Pirate pitcher so far. Granted, he's only gone 3 or 4 innings, but he's only given up 3 runs, 2 runs, 1 run. I would say he's the most consistent. Hopefully he can bring more consistency tomorrow. It is the Brewers after all. The Pirates looking to avoid going 0-6 against the Brewers. And we'll be looking forward to betting the Bucn over as we do every day. Didn't hit it today, but there's always tomorrow. enjoying the Bucn Over content, be sure to follow me over at Twitter at Bucn Over, TikTok at the Bucn Over, and on YouTube, the Bucn Over, to follow along with your buckos all year long.